Good Tuesday, not Monday. Good Tuesday morning, social friends. To all of you who have tuned in to watch this episode, either as a live stream or as an on-demand recording, this episode of Serving Veterans who served us. And while I am getting my co-host ready to join us, let's ask his team of new brokers to give him a warm round of applause. Let's cheer him on. Come on, new brokers, here we go. Yes, all of you experienced, not so experienced brokers. Yes, let's cheer Jason into the conversation.
Hello.
How you like those? How you like that crowd?
Hey, they were excited. I like the guy with the beanie hat. That was fun. That was fun. I heard you're not supposed to wear plaid on these things, so sorry about that.
Well, that's all right.
You know, I never do this right. So
no.
Table's wiggly.
I say to you, Jason, you wear what you want. You wear what you want.
Bad lighting in the office today. Everything. I don't know how you put up with this, man. I don't know how you deal with me.
Hey, we come into this together the way that we do, all natural. That's the only way we do it.
I like that. It's what is it? Grass-fed podcasting. All natural, no GMOs.
So, Jason, since 30 days ago, maybe 60 days ago, fast forward to now, I know you have been shaping, molding, building your team at RE/MAX Metropolitan. So that fan base that was cheering you on, yes, maybe some of those are aspiring to be your new brokers to help clients sell, buy property, invest in properties. How is that going for you? Good?
Yeah, pretty good. I forgot to mention this to you earlier in the week. We're in the top 50 RE/MAXs in Canada and the United States for growth.
Wow.
And again, we've only been open since April.
Yeah.
Our recruitment year goes October through October. So April through October, I still brought on enough talent that we made the top 50 for the US and Canada. So that's pretty cool. So we're doing something right.
Well, you're doing something, a few things right. Care to drop a nugget as to what your secret is?
Yeah, I'll keep it PG. So there's no BS. Like
No BS.
I always say I open my office from a place of great anger with other brokerages. The charging of all these stupid junk fees.
Yeah.
$700 just to list a property, and then if the seller is not going to pay that fee, which 9 times out of 10 they're not going to, the agent's got to pay it.
Yeah.
Transaction fees for information that the agent's putting in the computer themselves, $250 a pop, $350 a pop.
Right.
I just heard about one brand. They have a fee called a circle fee. I was like, what is that? Why am I paying $495 for that? So all these fees get passed on to the consumer eventually in the form of either bad service or stressed out agents who want to sell the home faster.
Yeah.
And we don't do that here. We don't have any junk fees. No junk fees.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. The same holds on my side of the business. I get the question here and there, and that is, so Bill, I've looked at your loan estimate compared to some of your friendly peers and competitors. Why are they adding in all of these other fees? And you know what my answer is, Jason? My answer is this. Do you see that big old signage that they have wrapped around a baseball stadium, football stadium?
Yep.
Guess who's paying for it? You.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you.
Yep.
So it's called overhead, right? You and I both know that.
Yeah. It's called BS. You're so PC, because my answer to that is because they suck. That's why they're charging you all these extra fees.
Yeah.
So See, this is what happens. We never, just for people watching, we never practice any of this beforehand. We
do not.
Completely free range, like we said, grass fed, no GMO. So you never know what you're gonna get. And I'm feeling squirrely this morning, so let's get to it.
So let's lead off today's live stream, Jason, with why don't you share with our audience, hey, what's going on with the real estate market? I see this. I take off my mortgage professional hat. I see this as a consumer. It seems like there is a slow thawing of inventory. There's more properties coming onto the market. I see that. I see faster price reductions sometimes. Is that what you see as broker owner of your team?
Yeah, definitely. It's neighborhood to neighborhood. You have a neighborhood that's vastly different across the street from a neighborhood. But nationally, if we're looking at the numbers, we're seeing inventory has increased for October. The most recent numbers we have, I think we're up about 2% or something versus October of last year.
Right.
For inventory. So inventory is opened up a little bit, which we've been waiting all summer for that to happen. It's finally happening at the wrong time of the year, really. But that's fine. We'll sell stuff during Christmas. It's all good.
That's right. I agree.
The other big thing, though, is the average days on market nationally is up to 55 days.
Wow.
So that's pretty big. From where we were at before, I think we were at like 44.
Yeah.
Before. So 55 days on market is average.
Yeah.
So you've got neighborhoods where the average right now, if you break it down to a neighborhood, it's 100 days on market, for a $350,000 single family home.
Yeah.
So sellers have got to have patience, but it's hard for them to have patience. You got to present those facts to them. And a lot of them, they get squirrely and they just want to drop the price real quick, but be patient. Be patient.
Yeah. Be patient. Be patient. Trust in your team of service providers like you and your team. And sometimes, as we talked about before we showed up in our live stream, you got to have that direct, hard conversation with clients, right? Mm-hmm. It's better that way as opposed to set false expectations and then you got to pop the balloon and burst their bubble. Do it early.
Yeah.
Do it early. Yeah. All right. Let me now bring up a visual aid. Because our live stream is all about helping veterans. Let me bring up this visual aid, and I want to ask you whether you agree with some of this or not. I know because you're a veteran, so here goes. Just as a reminder for our audience, what are the eligibility requirements to source VA financing? Jason, I know you know this big one at the bottom. Yep. If you are a surviving spouse of a vet who died in the line of duty or service, they qualify. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. A lot of people don't think about it, but as part of our conversation today, I wanted to draw attention to that. The next one is this. National Guards people. Notice I didn't say guardsmen because, we have people from both genders. You qualify as well, but you have to have served your service in the National Guard Reserves for at least 6 years. Time flies. That's an easy no-brainer, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Any one of these surprise you off the top of your head?
No, I knew all those.
You knew all those. Love it, love it, love it. So
this is one of my core client bases. So I got to know this stuff, and I'm a veteran too, so it's important. Gotta know. Yep.
Very, very true. And not only, I'm sure, do you know this, but you probably, mentor, coach your team of brokers these facts. And by the way, team of brokers that are getting mentored and coached by Jason, if ever you forget, just bookmark, save this live stream or video. You can always come back to it. All right. Let me now share with you some other visual aids, and I'm going to play a game of over and under with you. Okay. So hang on. Let me load up some of these other visual aids here so that we can play this over under game.
There gonna be some cartoons.
Well, they're still images. Okay. Nothing animated. Nothing animated. So here we go. Are you surprised by the average age, median age of a seller? This is fast forward to current times. Are you surprised?
So no.
Really?
The only reason I'm not surprised because I already read about this.
Okay.
But it's kind of common sense when you think about it. Boomers represent a huge contingent of our population.
They do.
Just because there's so many of them, and they're getting older.
They are.
They have a lot of money. They have a ton of equity. A lot of times they bought their houses for less than 100,000. And now their house is worth 900,000. So
bingo.
Yeah, they're sitting on a ton of equity. So they're buying stuff, and that's.
Yeah. And for those of you,
less young people are buying too. We know that as a fact.
And for those of you watching and listening to this live stream, if you are a first-time buyer, and often maybe you've wondered, like, who am I competing against? Oh my gosh, it's the boomers.
Yep.
It's the boomers.
Grandma and grandpa.
When I saw this initially caught my eye, and I kind of did a double take, which is the number of years tenure before selling. I would have thought it was higher than this number of 11 years. But oh well, time flies, right? A decade, that's I guess that's kind of common. In your opinion, Jason, when you are working with your boomer sellers, right? What is the most unusual reason that you've heard them share with you why they moved? These are the two common ones. Be closer to friends and family. Do you have a unique one?
A unique one? Yeah. I mean, I had one guy who was moving because he had been at war with the raccoons in his neighborhood.
Oh, no.
Or I don't even know. He told me a story of 10 years fighting raccoons that were invading his chimney and his garbage. And he just hated these raccoons. And everything he did, he couldn't get rid of them. They just kept coming back.
Yeah.
And repopulating. And he was at war with raccoons for a decade. And he had gotten to an age where he's like, I can't climb up on the roof anymore. I can't fight these raccoons. I got to move.
Yeah. So that's a unique reason. Sometimes
pretty crazy.
Sometimes we move because we don't like our neighborhood, but in that guy's case, he didn't like the raccoons. Love it. Too funny. All right. Let's move on to first-time buyers. Let's do it over and under. Okay. First-time buyer, fast forward to right now, is the median age over 35. Over or under?
Over.
Let's see what the data tells us. 1 second.
I'm guessing.
Bingo. You're absolutely right. It's over. it's kind of shocking, right? I mean, 40-year-old first-time buyer. Remember that movie? What is it? 40-year-old virgin. Let me
40.
add. Let me add to that. The 40-year-old property virgin.
There you go.
There you go. Right.
That's the movie.
Yeah.
We're all right. We're casting. You're gonna get your chest waxed. I think we've got a script already. We're ready to go.
Too funny. Now, are you surprised by the demographic segments that are shown here at the bottom in terms of strong, largest demographic, the next one, the last one? I'm not surprised.
No, not at all. I mean, we've seen every year the age that people are choosing to get married goes up.
Yeah.
People are waiting longer and longer to get married.
Yeah.
So not a big surprise there.
Yeah. I personally think this demographic, single women, I personally thought the percentage should be higher than 25%. I mean, I know so many single women, professional, own businesses, unmarried, kind of doing it by themselves. They're not waiting for the spouse.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Jason, you and I can joke about this because we're guys. Wouldn't you agree, single guys, back when we were single guys, we don't like commitments. Buying a home, mortgage, that's a commitment, buddy.
Yeah.
So I'm not
more likely to have 3 cars and a motorcycle than a house.
Bingo. Those are the commitments when you're a single guy, right?
Yep.
All right. Let's now look at the repeat buyer, okay? Are you surprised by the median age? I guess not really, because same concept, right? The boomers are the biggest demographics of buyers right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
we're just getting older as a country.
Yeah. Well, we're getting older, more are staying healthier. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge part of it is our healthcare is so much better. Our diets are better. People are drinking less. People don't smoke anymore. I mean, there's tons of stuff. We don't have lead in our gas anymore. All this stuff helps.
Yeah. It's funny you bring that up. Smoking. How often have you, when you've walked through the lobby or entrance of an office building, unlike before, I don't see many people. I don't see that cluster of people outside smoking anymore. Do you?
No, hardly anybody smokes, and it's interesting too because we have a lot of events for our clients and vendors and things, and we always get alcohol. And I mean, 10, 20 years ago, you would have run out of alcohol at any event,
right?
And now people barely touch it. It's pretty amazing though how lifestyle changes have happened in a good way.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, less of the bad stuff. So that's good.
Less of the bad stuff.
Yep.
I hear you. All right. Well, let's pivot to our last conversational topic for today. Again, audience members, you heard it from Jason. Jason and I never script this conversation. Why? Because we just don't want to. We want to come to you grass-fed, all natural. So I'm going to drop this bomb in front of Jason. Jason,
okay.
What are some misconceptions that you hear, that you encounter from sellers and buyers? You want to lead off with one, and then I'll take one. We'll take turns on this.
Yeah, I feel like I've said this before, but it comes up every single week. So if I've said it before, sorry.
Okay.
The 20% down, like I got to have 20% down. I got to have 20%. If you're in the market for, $1 million home, you got 200,000, like, so yeah, that's kind of the most common thing that it just comes up every week. People are like, I'm not ready. I don't have my 20% to put down. You don't need 20%. There's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that that's like standard. Like you must have that amount of money, but there's so many other options. So
there are. And also in the spirit of our live stream serving veterans, I mean, no surprise, vets, you certainly don't need any down payment. As a matter of fact, I joke about this, veterans. If you are buying your next home or first home, it doesn't matter. I am certain Jason and I could help you get into that next property where we will help you source VA financing, and with a mere amount of money like a security deposit, that's probably the only money you need to get keys to the home.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I hear veterans say that.
Really?
Well, I want to use my VA loan, but I don't have a down payment. And I'm just like,
zero, buddy.
Yeah, let's sit down and talk for a moment, because you that's the whole point. You don't need it. But I mean, it's so common out there, that misconception, that I feel like every week we talk about it with somebody.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Let me throw this misconception to you and to our audience. Most recent, I had a conversation with a client of mine. My client is looking to, buy her next property, actually build her next home. And we were kind of talking through like the what ifs and what's the next step. And she dropped a bomb in my lap, because she shared with me, she said, Bill, I don't know why it's so hard to pay off a mortgage. And I'm like, why do you say that? And she said, OMG, I had to jump through all these hoops to pay it off. And I said, well, let's talk about the two critical steps. I said, one, did you get a payoff statement? And she answered yes. And I said, okay. And the payoff statement had some big numbers staring back at you, and also gave you an address of where to send the money, right? She said, yes. I said, all right, that's step one. Step two, what did you do? She said, well, I went to a local brick and mortar and asked the brick and mortar team to take my payoff. And I said, no, don't do that. And she was kind of surprised at my response. She said, why not? And I said, because, Jason, you know this and I know this.
Yeah.
This applies to any industry, by the way, but it's so true in our industry, real estate. If you get in front of a rookie, a whippersnapper that doesn't know what they're doing, sure, they'll say, oh, okay, I'll help you. But guess what? After you walk away, acknowledging that you can help execute a payoff, they're making some phone calls to their supervisor or manager. And guess what? If the supervisor or manager doesn't answer, they get confronted with other people coming into the brick and mortar location. Guess what? They took your payoff check, shoved it into the drawer of the desk, and that thing never gets done. That is exactly what happened to her. Scary story, right?
Yeah. It's, not surprising.
Yeah.
So to these bankers, that a big amount of money to you, it's the biggest amount of money maybe you've ever seen in a check,
right.
A written check. It's a huge amount of money for us personally as people. Yeah. But for the bank, that's nothing. It's a rounding error to them. Yeah. So their lack of care is just because they see it every day. Yeah. It's not callous. It's just like part of the job for them.
I know.
It's crazy.
So anyway, she eventually got it done, but it wasn't without some angst and a lot of jumping through hoops. Yeah. But I wanted to share this kind of simple story to all of you watching this or listening to this live stream. Yes, all of you. Okay. When you go to come upon, there you go. When you go to win the lottery, right? Or what is it? Powerball drawing keeps, rolling over. If you win and you decide, hey, I got my windfall of money, I'm going to pay off my mortgage. Here's my advice to you. Get the payoff statement and follow the instructions. Send it into that address that they tell you. Do it through FedEx tracking, UPS overnight tracking. That's a much easier way. All right.
If you win the lotto and you hire the best butler they can do it for you.
They can do it for you. Yes, yes, yes.
You win the lotto, you better not be doing anything.
Yeah. You got to find a trustworthy butler, though, I must admit. Okay. Yep. All right. Let's now, let me throw one more at you. A misconception. Most recent, Jason, I had to have a conversation with some newly married buyers. Okay. So back to the visual aid that we saw earlier. Married households, they're the largest demographic segment to buy homes, right? And in my conversation with this newly married couple, I kind of had to surprise them with what they could afford. And before we went live, audience members, I shared this story with Jason. So Jason knows the punchline here. Yeah. And audience members, the reason why they were surprised by what they could afford, here's the misconception, is it's not about your credit score. I'm going to tell you straight up, you can have kind of a somewhat shitty, somewhat marginal credit. I'm going to tell you this. You still probably can qualify and be eligible for a loan. What makes you unqualified is your ability to repay. And that means, what does your income look like against your other debt? And so what was shocking to this newly married couple is that one of them shifted from being a W-2 income earner to, boom, self-employed income. That changes the landscape quite a bit, right? In their case. So I had to give them a dose of reality as to what they could afford. And hey, it's all about setting the expectations correctly up front, as opposed to taking them down a road, engaging with someone like you or one of your team members, looking at properties and then kind of disappointing them afterwards. That's no fun. Yeah. So do you have one more before we?
You know what? I got a random question as you were talking about that.
Go for it.
Thinking, what would happen if that client of yours, let's just say they had $2 million liquid in the bank? Does that change things for them?
That can change things. Right. There you go. Because if they have substantial assets like that, we can use those assets through a unique approach called asset depletion. And we use that path as a way to add income to their qualifying process. So that's a great point.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So bottom line, money talks.
Money talks. Yes.
Either you earn it, you inherit it, or I don't know, I guess you stole it. Right?
No, I mean, it reminds me when I lived overseas for 5 years in the 2000s. And when I came back, I had no credit, like zero, like zero. And I was trying to rent an apartment in New York. And everyone said, you have no credit.
No credit.
You have no credit.
Right.
And I would show them my bank account
because
I had a ton of money from my company that I sold overseas.
Right.
And would say, well, I have this. And then they would be like, okay, here's your lease.
Okay. Yeah.
So money definitely talks.
Money talks. Either, like I said, either you're earning it, you inherit it, or you stole it.
Yeah.
So, audience members, as Jason and I wrap up this live stream in this short week of November, just before Thanksgiving, how can we help you get to your next chapter of your real estate journey, whether you are selling to buy your next home, whether you're buying your first home, or you want to invest? Jason and his team of brokers at RE/MAX Metropolitan can certainly engage and help you. All you have to do is scan the QR code that you see right next to Jason. And along the way, if you need financing, scan the QR code on the other end, the other corner. Jason and I will tag team to help you get to your next chapter. Music Posse, play us out. Jason, see you in the next episode. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.